Good evening and welcome to the show. Tonight's guest, Tony Abbott from Australia. There's only one Tony Abbott. Exceptionally warm here today, Tony. Still 17 degrees now. Thank you very much.
Who are you talking to?
Myself. But I've not been answering.
Okay.
I've not been answering.
Why not?
Yes, I'll probably get into an argument with myself.
Well, go on. I think that'd be funny. Let somebody hear it.
Never.
Hmm? I better check if Jess is coming over tomorrow too. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Just ask her.
I haven't waiting for her to answer because few little table decorations she wants to get, but
Oh, I see. Yeah.
just from the Bassendean Fruit Shop.
I am sailing. I am sailing home again across the sea. I am sailing stormy waters to the sea. I'm flying like a bird across the sky. I'm flying, passing high clouds to be near, to be free. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Through the dark night, far away. I'm dying, forever crying to be you can say, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Through the dark night, far away. I'm dying, forever crying to be you can see. This is Angel on solo guitar. We are sailing home again. God's the sea, we are sailing. Storm of waters to be near, to be free. Oh Lord, to be near, to be free. Oh Lord, to be near, to be free. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the music for the show. It's all done and buried now, and that was it. No more. And where all the good people at the village are tonight.
Oh, I don't know.
Are they staying down with the blue people?
Yeah, a lot of blue people. Oh, I haven't done a picture of that yet to send to Ingrid.
Oh,
We always went on about it.
did you send a video of the Bellatron?
Yes, they said it's lovely. Just got a reply. And Deb Tilly said it's awesome. And the kids have said it's lovely. And that's it. You remember some things, some people don't get as excited as we do over certain things.
Oh, I love it.
I love
I'm not excited about it, but it's
I am.
great.
Because it reminds me of Dad.
Yeah, that's true. Do you remember how Cat Stevens used to sing in his songs? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We'll try this one.
Well, not quite that bad, but yeah, I do.
I always thought it was quite funny. It's not time to make a change. Just relax and take it easy. You're still young. Not your fault. There's so much you have to know. Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me. I am old, but I am happy. I was once like you are now, and I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something going on. But take your time, think a lot. Why, think of everything you've got. Well, you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. Yusuf is his real name now, isn't it? How can I try to explain? When I do, he turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen of his way. And I know that I have to go away. Hello, Jenny Jen. I know I have to go.
Hey, Jenny, long time no see.
Yes, I think she's straight out of prison, I'm not sure. Just kidding, just kidding. I was just messing around with an old Cat Stevens songs. He was quite popular in the 70s. What was it, The Peace Train?
Yeah.
Peace Train. Having an unusually warm winter. Actually, I turned the heat on here for this morning when I got up.
Yes, I actually enjoyed it, and I'll be tomorrow too because it's wash hair day.
No, you stay in bed then. I'll turn it on when I get up at 5 and
Yeah.
you'll be good. We're good, Jenny Jen. We had a big day today. We had our ballast railing put up, which looks pretty cool. Well, we think so anyway. Yeah, we've been doing heaps actually. We're all planned to go to the United States around about late September. That's not going to happen now. But we plan to get most of things done by then, and we probably will. But we're probably going to go to New Zealand. Why? Because there's wild sheep in them hills. And we've been there before, it's very beautiful. And our daughter is about to pop. So next week or so, she'll be delivering grandchild number 10. Yeah, no, we just accept it. We know that the United States is going through incredible problems right now. And it's very sad. Just my opinion that the country's been badly led, confusion, misinformation, and the people haven't been looked after. One stimulus check, really? How long is it supposed to last a family? And I understand why Americans are angry. Hopefully, someone will take hold of the situation and make Americans come together. Because all I see is a divided states, not a United States at all. Irregardless of when this is all over, when, which could be a long time. Hopefully it's a lesson well learned. What people do when they're confused is they just do what they used to do. They don't know any different. So when you see people back gathering together, they do what they used to do. They don't think about staying so far away from each other, and they hug and they kiss and they dance, because no one is saying this is what we have to do. There's no collective national response in the United States, which all I see is the political game going on, which is ridiculous. This is not about politics. This is about people. And they are left confused and dazed. But enough of that. How have you been, Jenny Jen? Hope things are all well. I don't really think it's a second wave. It's more of an unfinished first one. Starting up too early. I mean, constitutionally, the second wave would be 6 months in between a huge dramatic fall and then another massive wave of it. But this has just gone up and down in the United States. Some counties open, some states open, some close. Oh, that's no good. I've had pneumonia. I can sympathise with how you would feel through that. It's been a remarkable situation just in my state of Western Australia, Jenny Jen. We normally have, and April is the month that they do their statistics, we normally have between 11 and 1,400 people get the flu, or pneumonia, if you like. And of that, sadly, about 30 to 40 die. And that's in my state, okay? This year, not 1,100 or 1,400, 20 people got pneumonia and no one's died. Because the population has socially distanced themselves from each other. It's like one of these things, Australians walk around each other now. Still pleasant, still g'day, how are you? But no hugging, no handshaking, no kissing. Not for the obvious reasons, but just to be safe. And most of the places you go, there's normally about 5 or 6 feet between you and whoever's behind the counter. A lot of them have got shields up. Only X amount of people are allowed in stores, but everyone's gone past that now in my state because everything is back to normal here. This coming weekend, we'll have 30,000 people watching a sporting game. Yep, Victoria, not locked down, no. They've just notified, I think it's 10 suburbs, or little counties you'd call them in the US, that they are going to be minimised in their movements. So not a full lockdown, but they can only be within their own area. Unfortunately, and this is not a racist comment at all, we just finished Ramadan for Muslims. And again, this is not racist. But at the end of Ramadan, they have Eid, which is a gathering of families together celebrating life, basically. And they went ahead and did it. And they thought it'll be all okay. Now we have hundreds of them, major big families that have the virus because they kiss, they hug, etc. The thing is, we're all humans. None of us are invulnerable to it. If you play it smart, and time the times you go to the shop or whatever you have to do, or if you do go and watch sport, make sure you're in an area where you've got plenty of space. And it's just like common sense. But most Americans who have gone back after everyone said, yep, we're reopening, have just gone back to what they used to do, which in a nutshell, you've got the virus on one hand and then complacency on the other. Now the virus is not going anywhere, but if you're complacent and you think it's all back to normal and everything's hokey-dokey, it ain't. But like I say, we will eventually all get through this, but it could be a long time. Our government has already instigated a plan that the middle of next year they will evaluate and see if there's an option to open up certain international routes to certain countries. Yeah, but Jen, on YouTube daily you can find someone that says, June the 29th, the world's going to end. There's going to be a big volcano blow up, or an asteroid, or large squirrels attack us all, and we're all going to die. Every day there's someone saying the world is going to end. The truth is, for each individually, you and I, the world will end for us one day. We'll pass away, and that's the end of our world, if you like. The world will be here, whether humans are here or not. This has shown at least most people that how vulnerable we are. You know, we're not all made of steel. Hello, RC. Well, you be careful when you go to work, RC. I know you will, because you're smart. But there's no one in my state sick. We had 2 people arrive. They are citizens of Australia, but they've been in India. So they arrived and they were tested and they have the virus. And now they're not locked away, but they're in quarantine for 2 weeks. About 95% of any cases in Australia. We've had about 7,500 cases, all up. Sadly, 104 people have passed away. But 95% of them came from overseas. Most of them on cruise ships. But there's a sporting field about I don't know, half a mile, 3/4 mile away. We're saying tonight how great it was to listen to the young kids training, and they play games there, and it's been busy all week. So everything like that is back to normal here. But we can't become complacent, and we still walk around and see people still sort of distancing themselves from each other. Vin is annoyed with the Aborigines. You're talking about Vinny. Yeah, that's the case all over RC. Centralised places where people mix and gather in large numbers, it's all mathematical. I don't know why Vin would be angry with the Aborigines. They were here 50,000 years before we were. Do you know what I mean? I grew up with lots of them. You might know an Australian actor called Ernie Dingo. He used to play sport with Ernie Dingo. We used to have a few punch-ups, have a beer after the game and have a laugh. It's a different culture. I haven't seen a similar culture around the world than the Aborigines. And that's probably the same for many cultures, I guess. But see what the government did here. If, say, RC lost his job because the business he worked for closed down, well, our government paid him, or would pay him, $750 a week, and there are people that are still not back to work yet, and they're still getting that $750. The unemployment benefit, which has no time limit in Australia, they doubled it from $550 for 14 days to $1,100, so about $600 a week for not working. So money has not been the issue, or the worry of not paying your bills is not the issue. And most Australians just hunkered down because they could afford to. I have friends in the US that can't afford to hunker down. They have to go to work. No one's giving them money, and they have bills. And I know why a lot of Americans are really angry. You know, you can't work and you can't get any money and you can't get any support. You're going to get angry. Oh, we all have something to offer, Jenny. No one is special. We are a fabric when we come together and we share knowledge and information and good times and laughter. That's what life really is about, not greed or sticking your hand out asking for money. It's about sharing moments. But even through this pandemic, the greedy have remained greedy. The poor have got poorer. And the average person who tries to do the right thing is angry as hell. And someone was telling me the other night that, America's going to go into a civil war. I said, okay, all right, so you believe that? And this person said, yes, with all my heart. And I said, okay, who's your enemy? And they were lost. They couldn't come up with who they'd be fighting. Would it be a racial war? No, there'll be a civil war. And I'm thinking, okay, well, who are you fighting? Who is your enemy? Because I often hear some Americans talk about revolution and enemies, and it's a simple fact that there are no enemies. There is injustice and not an equality for all, and that's very apparent. But America's not going to have a civil war. They might have civil unrest, but unless you know your enemy, you're fighting shadows. Probably never a truer statement said, Adams, and that is the people that own the planet don't give a rat's ass. They don't care. We are insignificant in their plans. These families have existed for thousands of years. But there is a way in your own mind to get through not even just this, but really hard times that everyone comes across. And that is to prioritise what needs to be done. And you certainly put all your wants on a shelf, wants are for later. But you need to get the needs done. Shelter for you and your family, food, hopefully some work. And just, it's the old saying in hard times, just tread water until you can see the shoreline. Because if no one treads water, if you don't tread water, there's only one result in that. I've watched a few channels over the last couple of weeks, and I'm still amazed how people can say things and yet do the opposite. Someone was talking about how times are so hard and there's no money around, and it looks like they'll probably go down the gurgler as they're drinking and they're eating pizza and takeaway food. I'm thinking, what? So your priority is to spend up now and have no money tomorrow, and then tell everyone that you're doing it hard. Nah, you're just doing it stupid. You can live on a meagre amount of food as long as you get by. Grow food. Actually, there was a huge increase in people growing food in Australia this year. Yeah, that's probably true, Adam, but it's more the narcissistic people amongst the government. There's probably some good people in government, don't get me wrong. But there are certain people, when they get in a position of power, who change. And it's all about them and not the people. Because the most important thing in any nation is the people, the health of the people. It's like that someone did it, surmised it beautifully. You know these old Roman computer games from about the turn of the century, where you had to build cities and then you get invaded by hordes and they try and take over and kill everyone. And well, if you don't work together, you can't win. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. I knew you'd all be waiting. Put your hands together tonight for the appearance and the arrival of Tony Abbott.
And is that why you put the bath picture on?
Eh?
Is that why you put the bath picture on? That was for Tony.
What
On
bath
your
picture?
Beginning of the chat.
Yes?
Your screenshot.
Yes. I don't know if Tony noticed that. It's an old man in a bath, cleaning up like Tony does.
Tony, who's got skirting boards to put back on that he took off 50 years ago.
Yeah, get round to it one day. But you can fight your way through life if you want to. But with fighting comes victories and losses. You don't have to go with the stream. You just have to find another creek that suits your lifestyle. You don't have to conform to other people's wishes. I think your girlfriend, I'm going to nickname Bob Hawke. Johnny P's still to me, though. I don't know what that
Now,
means.
where's Jono?
He's
Johnny
around.
P to me still.
He's
right?
around. Probably still at the strip club, finishing up his act. It's a pitiful life, Tony. You seem to follow a lot of people like that. I'm wondering whether you were a dictator in a former life.
No, he just likes to follow.
Hey, everybody.
Useless.
Yeah, it's Bob here. Bob Hawke. How are you? We all go through tough times. We all do, really. No one is exempt. It can be financial, it can be emotional. We all ride that roller coaster. What you got to do is celebrate the good things that you can. Is your missus there right now? Hang on, I'll get Link on the phone. Yeah, there, Link. Can I put you on speaker, mate? Yeah, all right, no worries. Why? What the fuck's going on? Black Kitty, fuck off. Jeez. Anyway, I was telling you that I went fishing the other day and I dived in the water. It was a bit cold. I got a flu, but other than that, it was a good day out. Stubbed my toe. Black cat bit me on the calf when I got home. And I'm holding up the roof at the moment because it looks like it's caving in. Sheesh, tell ya. I'm gonna cook myself some eggs now. Where's the pan? Oh, get out of the pan, Black Kitty, for God's sake. I'd wipe it out, but that might add a bit of texture. Add a bit of butter. There we go. Shh. Oh, shit. I suppose I should crack the eggs first. Anyway, I gotta go, Seeds. See you, mate. All right, mate. You have a good one. Catch you later. Good old Link, eh? Yeah, Link's got a good soul, actually. We came back through his area a couple of years ago. I just asked him if he'd like to catch up, and he's a very private person. My wife has been in contact with him on and off for years by email. But he, very reserved. So he said, oh, no, not this time. It's like I said, mate, we're not coming through this area, travelling 5,000 kilometres every now and then to see if you're ready for a cup of tea. But he was good. No, he just said, no, I didn't really want to do it. And that's what you should respect. That's what it's all about.
I actually think he was something to do with work too, if I remember. It's when he was sort of...
He's always buying cars, isn't he?
Wasn't he living at work or something there for a while? I think
Yeah,
that's
I
around
think
the time we drove through.
Yep, I was good friends with Tony Mullins. And I'll let the cat out the bag for those that don't know. Tony's not gone. Don't expect him to come back short.
It's his girlfriend here. Thank you for the always being live and chatting, giving really good life advice.
We all, at one stage, Jen, and I'm sure you've done it, need to step away. For different reasons, all of us. And it's not a bad thing. A very good YouTube channel just did so last week, who I've followed for a very long time, a very kind and gentle man. And John is his name. You probably guess which channel it was. He decided just to step away, and that's okay.
Who? Oh, Tony.
But we all go through that in life. Life wasn't meant to be easy, but sometimes it shouldn't be that damn hard. Another guy that's been doing it tough lately, another channel that I've been watching. He's had a series of medical issues. You'd all know this channel, I'm sure, the boss of the swamp. Great guy. Salt of the earth. Something needs doing, he does it himself. But he's had a bit of a tough run with his health. I'm talking about confusion and the virus. I remember last week someone telling me they were in Arkansas, yeah. That up the road they could have 10 people in the restaurant, and about a mile further down the road they could have 30. No one knew what the hell's going on. You feel for Vinnie G. Why? What's wrong with Vinnie?
No, because he's been sick.
Yeah, like I say, we all face them. Vinnie's got through the majority of the problems he had, which is great. We've all got something. We all carry a load. Don't get me singing. Sweet and low, sweet chariot, coming to take me home. Yes, he had a couple of strokes, but remarkable recovery. I've known people who weren't so lucky. Yep, my mum used to have a great saying, Jenny Jen. If you're breathing and kicking, stop bitching. And sometimes, when you do it tough, when you come out of that tunnel, you see a little bit of light, and eventually you get to the other side, and things are a bit better, you appreciate the things you now have from the things you nearly lost everything. That's when you learn. That's the learning curve. It's like life is not that important on many levels. Your health's important if you can keep good health. We all don't get that choice though. Good company, good friends, and enjoy and laugh best you can. Blinky was in here probably
Oh, a while ago.
about a month ago. You have a good one, RC. Take care.
See you, RC.
Don't talk to strangers. I'm getting around to having a few people with a one-on-one hangout to tell their story, their life story, not details, where they live, what they do, etc., but just things that have happened. And in time, Blinky will be one of those people. And it's a whole mixed match of hodgepodge things that have happened in Blinky's life that she'll unveil whatever she wishes to do. I will not be pressing anyone. But each of us have similar stories. Lots of differences, of course, but similar stories. And it's good to listen to people's life story because you can assimilate, oh yeah, I remember that happened to me too, and you know, I remember the hard times. And so that's how life is. I do interviews on Wednesdays. You should both come tell yours. No, mine's worth a couple $1 million, Jenny Jen. You haven't got the budget for mine. But, you know, that's all right. Maybe the affiliate stations can pass on some of it to you or whatever.
You can go on.
But everyone's life is a tapestry. Very colourful. Lots of dark patches on it. And there's some really bright spots. A sabre hug. I'll get my sabre body condom first. I'll have to have a shower. I'll be back soon, so my girlfriend will be taking over as Tony Abbott.
Okay.
All right. Now we'll have some fun.
Yep.
Tell us when he's gone. I'll know if it's Tony. That's right. You can make them as dark as you like. It's good to put a few bright colours in. Breaks up the darkness.
With the darkness, you have lightness.
With the goodness, you have
Comes,
to be.
yeah.
I have to talk to Blinky on the phone years ago. I have her number. Yep, we do too. We spent some time with Blinky, 3 or 4 days, I think it was. Beautiful little house that we rented overlooking the river. We had a great time. She's a lovely person. We've had lunch with JP. That was good. He's a good bloke. But you don't have to meet everyone. Some people get carried away wanting to meet everyone. It's not that important. I mean, in your life, if you're lucky, you'll have 1 or 2 very close friends. And that's good. I don't think that's bad. You'll have people you'll meet and laugh and enjoy their company, but they'll drift away. So if you end up with 1 or 2 friends that are there all the time, that's good. Two close ones are better than 10 fake ones. That's right. My best friend sits next to me.
Who's that?
That's all right. Have you had your pills? No?
Have you had your pills?
Yes.
No, haven't given you your pills.
Yeah, mine's are just jelly babies. The wind's changing. It's coming from the north. That means VMAC must be coming in shortly. He's going to have a shower now. I don't believe you, Tony. You wouldn't leave your gorgeous wife here with all these gentlemen. Actually, I might even get Link back on the phone if you're going to have a shower. He can have a chat with her. Yeah. What's going on, Suits? Tony's having a shower and Mrs. Tony's there on her own, so maybe I should sing to her. Are you lonesome tonight? If you are, here's my number. I'll be over alright. Just lock Tony in the shower room and I'll be there. I'll be there. No, I think if you met Link, he'd probably sit there shy and look at the ground. What is a bloody woman over there? Jeez, what am I supposed to do now? I know. I have a camera in your room, yes.
That's scary.
You never meet people's eyes. Well, you probably wouldn't meet mine because you got a crick in the neck trying to look up. But we are looking at going over to New Zealand. New Zealand. Have some fish and chips. Go fishing. Mrs. Angel can answer for herself how she is. She's very purple. I'll show you. She's always very purple. And all the rags on that chair are what I use to oil and polish the ballast rail.
All right, Adam, I screenshot it, but I haven't approved the message so that your number doesn't stay in the room, okay, Adam? He put his landline in.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who is landlines these days. What are you living
Yeah,
in the
actually.
18th century? What's going on?
So I can hide that comment, Adam, now, so your landline doesn't show. Okay. Right. Okay. So don't think. I've only done that so your landline just doesn't stay in the room.
What's he giving his landline out for? Because he's chasing a date, or?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I'll put my lippy on and my high heels. Nah, he wouldn't be able to see. I'd be too damn tall as it is. Aye, true blue. La-dun-da-dun-da. Here's La Danny G. Listening while I work. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, it's still very warm here in winter, Danny. It's 17 degrees at night time. We've had rain, strangely. Roscoe Chess is nothing. Give me a beer. Send me a medium cooked barmaid with the beer. That'll be good.
Hope you're not working too hard, Daddy.
Yes, we hope you're safe. Things aren't good in Tobruk. I'll get Danny on the phone.
I think that's the one I've got, Adam. Let me just go check.
The infection rates in Texas have gone through the roof. Hello, Danny. It's me. I was wondering, after all these years, you'd like to meet, to go over everything. They say that time's supposed to heal you, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be when we were younger and free. I've forgotten how it felt before the world fell at our feet. There's such a difference between us and a million miles. Join in. Hello from the other side of the world. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything I've done. But when I call you, never seem to be home. Hello from the outside. At least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart, but it don't matter. It clearly doesn't tear you apart anymore. That'll do. Enough's enough, young man. Oh, sorry, officer. Singing in public, $500 fine.
Yes, I do have your other channel, Adam.
No, singing's good. Singing's good, man. When I was a kid, we all used to gather around someone's piano or guitar.
He's back now. How can we believe that?
Because he's standing naked, dripping, saying, "You haven't said anything silly to these people, have you?" My God, woman. Yeah, but we did used to. That was entertainment. He's eating a Kit Kat. Oh, he's taking a break. Obviously, washing his body is a task. Time for a Kit Kat.
Yep.
But even when you get together now, the only time people sing is if they've got a song on the radio and some of the women join in. Blokes don't tend to sing much these days. Really.
You reckon?
I mean, in family gatherings, the women will sing to a song, but we can all sing one song, can't we? There's only one tiny abbot. Na da 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 da. The budgie smuggler's back. What's your name? My name's Sean Connery, and I'm here for Abbott.
So what's everyone doing today? Or afternoon or night? Or wherever you are?
There's a good trick you can play if you like singing around a campfire. This is a really good one. And that is, Ghost Rider. The song Ghost Rider. Johnny Cash did the best version, I believe. And you can get people just to start off. You say, I want you three people to go chum 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 chum, and you get some other people. G'day, hi, just clap, and then all of a sudden you get this sort of rhythm going on. An old cowboy went walking out, bum bum dum da da dum, and people are going chum 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 chum. Ba-dum ba-dum dum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum. And then of course everyone joins in. Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay, goes rider in the sky. Our country was out fishing one late and windy night. He took Tony Abbott along, and they had a fight. I am tall, cute, not so much. I am an old man, memory going, sharp as a blunt tack. Oh, it's a good one to sing around a campfire. So you don't need a guitar with that one. He's done a couple of, one I've seen, of live broadcasts, but of videos he's done. And it went pretty well. I've always told people to go check his channel out. Even if you don't like fishing, just the tranquility alone is good enough.
And when we come over to New Zealand, he's got to take a lot in his pack when he takes us out. All the camp, all the gear to cook, because you're going to cook, and then a guitar for you to sing.
Fry pan.
I've got to take my book to sit and read it.
Nah. Yeah, I thought it was good, mate. Unfortunately, up in the high country, unless you take your own satellite internet, it's not going to happen.
No, just do video and then upload it.
No, live would be great though.
Yeah, very relaxing Highs videos. I love the countryside and just the whole scenery.
No, it's a good relaxation and the thrill of the hunt, the catching, releasing. Occasionally one doesn't get gone, it gets put in the pan. But
He's just got to remember to kiss them before he throws them back in.
yeah, I can't think of a solution, even I think on the lower ponds and lakes, I'd think you'd struggle. But nothing worse than doing the live stream and it stopping and starting and spinning, and that'd be a pain in the ass.
to get Tony.
Code 4. Cool. Yeah, no, I used to catch lots of fish and let them go too. I'll be honest. It's the fishing that's enjoyable.
That's right, Tony.
I did hear, it was very sad actually. Did you read that in Sydney some woman crushed a bloke up against the wall with her car?
No.
Yeah, killed him. He died going to hospital. It was her ex. So she decided to say, well, you're definitely going to be my ex.
Oh my God, she do it purposely?
Yeah, very sad.
Wow. Have a nut job then.
It's one of those things, hi. You know, I'm a kindred soul when it comes to going out bush, sitting near the beach, got all the fishing gear, and I just sit there and watch for a couple of hours. You learn so much by looking and listening and watching what birds do and where they are. You can even tell the ripples and the outlines of the reef if you look carefully enough. And then, when you're ready, you can go feeding. Go and catch a feed. Yep, just being.
Yeah, I say that.
We're meant
Just
to,
being.
as a species, to have our solitude and enjoy nature, but it's so damn hard if you work in a big city that it's too tough. You've got to go. Well, you've only just arrived.
Okay, see you, Danny.
Oh, you're working, that's right.
Yeah, she's at work.
Yeah, I'll just, do those screensaver things. Bring up the spreadsheet. Oh, busy here. Matron goes past. Right, back to seeds. Cool.
I haven't seen that one, Adam.
We've been to a few cities all over the place, and I can tell you they're not much different from each other. There's that impersonal feeling where people just, in their thousands, are passing you, but none of them see you. You go to a country town, you pull up, there'll be some old bloke on a round, you say, how you going? Yeah, good, mate. You're looking for a feed? Best feed is up the road. And they will do it in the country. Up the road there, see that blue sign? That's where you're going to get it. Don't go to the pub, mate. It's the worst food you'll ever have. But up the road there, little cafe, Doris is her name, give you a good feed. Cheers, mate. That's Australia in the bush. We live such a busy life when you think about it. That to slow down sometimes, it's a good thing. Yeah, we'll be there, mate. Not sure when, but if two countries are going to travel between each other, it will be us first, I think. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I think that's the thing that we've got to put in the back of our mind, is that as cautious as we can be, it's not going anywhere. It doesn't have a shape, a colour, or identifying big black eye. It is just invisible. And until a good treatment can be found to alleviate the main dangers of it, or a vaccine, it's not going anywhere. Yeah, I think Tony's been around, it's done the rounds thousands of years ago maybe. I don't want to alarm anyone, but the Chinese have just discovered a new swine flu. Another H1N1. This one's called G4. I'm not making this up, by the way, it's true. Even British scientists agree. And they're worried about it. So well, I didn't need to hear that. You know, we're going through a pandemic, and the Chinese said, "Oh, I got another bad one here. It's really bad." Actually, it's the other way around. All those things are coronaviruses. There were 6 known coronaviruses until this one came along. It's 7. And this other one they're talking about in China is another one. It's a H1N1, which is similar to the swine flu, if you remember that one. You know, if there was an intelligent species of aliens, we talked about this the other night, that landed on Earth, they'd probably all be dead in a week. The amount of things and bacteria we've got floating around on this planet is staggering. And as the wife said the other night, you just can't live in a bubble for the rest of our lives. That's true. But you can be cautious for a period of time. What I'd like to see, and this is just my viewpoint, let's say me and the missus land in, say, Queenstown. Well, we're into forced quarantine for 2 days, and on arrival, we get tested. So 2 days in Queenstown hotel's not the worst thing in the world. And the results come back negative. Excellent. And if we did the same when New Zealanders come into Australia, it's enough time to do the test, get the results and say, yeah, all clear. Just to be on the safe side. Mr. Buckaroony from far north Queensland. Well, they talk a little bit like this, mate. Where you from? Why don't you open your mouth? Bloody flies about here, mate. Oh, they come from everywhere though, Tony. It's not exclusive to Asian countries, though a lot have come from there. To give you an idea, the biggest pandemic that the planet with people that have been affected, which was named the Spanish flu, she started in the US, and that's a fact. And that had several bouts that went through the world, killed a lot of people. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of the cross transactions that have occurred from pigs, chickens, wild animals, whatever, is relatively recent. I put it down to animal husbandry, how they're raised, etc. Because in the old days, people had pigs going back thousands of years. I'm pretty sure they didn't die of swine flu. But when you feed them hormones, other chemicals, I think that puts the DNA in a bit of an unbalanced area. And then you add preservatives to the food. And then you add colourings and additives. You know, you're eating pork, but it's sort of been thrown through the washing machine of chemicals. I've seen quite a lot of wet markets around the world, and they're clean and healthy. I have a lot of doubt about the so-called story about the virus starting in a wet market. But that's just me. Go to some Asian countries, to give you an idea, Tony. You and I sit down for a feed, and you look over on the counter, and there's rice and there's curry, and then they heat it up for you. It's been sitting there for hours, tropical heat. And we eat it, and we don't get sick. Very strange. A lot of Indonesian people, for example, put a massive spread of food out in the middle of summer. And it's there all day, and people just go back and pick at it all day. Australians, we tend to think, better put chicken in the fridge. Yeah, the thing about a dairy, I worked in for just a few months. My main job was sterilisation on everything. Milk is a great carrier of bacteria. Mind you, having a glass of fresh milk from the cow, it's quite delicious. We were very fortunate for many, many years. We used to have a German lady who had a cow, and we get an urn, what do you reckon, 5 gallons? Every week we'd get that. And it was not treated. It was brilliant. We used to fight over the cream.
Fight over the cream.
I want a cream, give me the cream.
We'd have a bowl of cereal straight away.
I think I did read somewhere that within the human body there are thousands of bacteria, and on the outside of the surface of the skin there's another thousands of bacteria. We live with them. A lot of them actually help us digest, ward off other dangerous bacteria. Little bacteria wars going on all the time. So not all bacteria are bad. And sometimes when you eat yogurt and you hear the word probiotic, well, there's lots of bacteria in there, but good stuff. Oh, we used to, like I say, every week we get this 5-gallon stainless steel urn, and I'd decanter it into, I had like about 2 gallons each, and then we'd have a gallon left in the urn that we put in the fridge, and we'd use that first. Oh, it's so creamier. It is. You can't buy full cream milk, as in full cream milk. Trust me. Even if it says full cream milk in the shop, it ain't. Full cream milk, if you've got like a glass, like a beehive glass, you know, that you buy your honey in, and you fill that up with milk, and it's just come off the cow and into the fridge, there's an inch and a bit of cream. That's how it goes. Now, when you open a carton of milk from Woolies or Coles, there ain't no cream.
I don't quite understand. I love homogenised milk, I get that. And the cream is good for putting on some fat. Oh, putting weight on. Oh.
No, it does have fat in it, Tony, but it's not full fat. Yeah, watered down. That's what it is. But if you ever had fresh milk, you'll know. Oh, this urn would have had, I reckon, 6 inches of milk on top, cream. Easy. In 5 gallons. And I remember as a kid we used to get milk similar. You'd have the same when you were young.
Yes, yeah.
People used to grow their own veggies, and they'd swap those veggies in season for the neighbour who had a cow, or they'd feed the cow with the offcuts from the garden. Chickens, someone grew chickens and swapped cauliflower for a dozen eggs, things like that. You see, in the past, you never needed money, you just needed effort. Not sit on your ass and do nothing. Do something to barter to get something else. Because when I grew up as a little kid, there was bakers, butchers, all independent. You name them, they were all there. And they all had their own little characters, and some would walk in with a pound of bacon, and the grocer would say, "No worries, mate, grab yourself some carrots and parsnips on the way out." No money changed hands. It's what we've been trained to use. I'll give you the greatest example. Tony comes round to my place, looks at my old car and says, "What do you want for that?" And I say, $5,000. He said, "Nah, mate, I'm only going to give you 3. In the end, I might get 3,200 because it's the buyer who determines the value of a product, not the seller. But we've been trained differently, haven't we? We accept the price. I don't. Yeah, it's all about money, and it's not about people. We've been well trained. You was the son of a butcher man.
Just I couldn't help
Adams
it.
was the son of a butcher man.
I couldn't help it.
I don't know.
The song of the preacher one.
We used to have a big old bus, round bus, big green bus used to come round my neighbourhood when I used to live in the UK. And it'd have everything on board, chocolate, fruit and veg, you name it. And he would often ask, because he knew everyone, he'd say, do you know anyone in the street that's growing cauliflowers? Can't get them. I'd say, oh, we've got half a dozen in the back. I'll go and ask my mum. And she'd say, you can take 3 out, but make sure you get a trade for it. And he'd say, what does your mum want? And she said, she wants some of them beef bones, bag of barley, and some carrots and potatoes. He'd just make up a bag and say, fair swap.
We used to have a medicine lady come round. Do you remember Rawley's?
Yeah.
I used to sell it actually. I used to have the Rawley's lady come round in a VW station wagon and have all the Rawley's stuff, the medicine for man and beast.
Snake oil. I got some snake oil here for you.
I've still got the original tins from about 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And the cream in it's still good.
Really?
Yeah, Dad was using it up until he died. That's the tins in the bathroom.
I know guano oil never goes off.
I have to see if Rawley's is still around actually. I know it's not cheap though.
But lots of people will start growing a garden and they go, oh, I'm bored. Just go back to buying at the shop. It's a shame because instinctively in all of us, we enjoy planting something, watch it grow and then eat it. There's a great deal of satisfaction in that. We don't have a big garden, but I've been using a lot out of it. Black pudding's good. Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to have that in the morning with fried bread. Never really had toast as a kid. It was always fried bread. Yeah, I always used to involve my kids. I'd let them, my daughter used to like growing carrots and my son grew peas, and they never used to like veggies until they grew their own. And they'd sit at the table saying, yeah, carrots are right, but my peas, check them out. So a little bit of pride, a bit of effort. And in the old days, you were allowed 20 chickens per member of the family. We ran 100 chickens, and the kids' job was to collect the eggs. I cleaned out all the shit, cleaned up. But all the eggs were sold to members of the school, which bought all the sporting equipment. And the kids made a few bob along the way as well. Well, we're probably bored you enough. We should turtle off, I think. It's been good catching up with the people. It is. I mean, we've been eating a lot of salad food out in the garden, plus spinach. Broccoli coming on real good. Probably about 4 inches across now. So the thing about a garden is that you don't need a big one. You just need to grow stuff that you like to eat. I used to have arguments with people saying, I want to grow artichoke. And I'd say, do you eat artichoke? No, but I just want to grow them. Why? Because I want to grow them. What are you going to do with them? I don't know. Just grow the things you eat. Don't grow crap you don't eat. Because that's silly. Anyway, from the Purple Princess.
No.
And the hairy old goat. Yeah. Have a good day or night wherever you are. And we'll catch up with you in the near future for sure. But be safe, be smart, and be careful.